circle, every cross, every piece, every war, every wound, every scar, every chicken, every pork, every spoon, every fork, every color, every hue, every red, white, yellow, blue, every darkness, every light, for the blue and for the white, everyone, every big, every fight, one big fight. Already, are you ready now? Already, are you ready now? We fight, the fight, fight, blue and white. 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 Three fights in the fight. Three fights in the fight. Three fights in the fight. In an A, in a D comes an M and a G. Every value, every C, every lock has its key. Every disc, every hammer, every goal, every header, every bar, every hurdle, every dunk, every tackle, every warrior or maroon, every tallow, our goon, every falcon, every tiger, every bulldog, every archer, every darkness, every light, for the blue and for the white. Everyone, every big, every fight, one big fight. Fights in the fight. Three 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 fights in the fight. Fight blue and white. Three fights in the fight. Fight blue and white. Three fights in the fight. Fight blue and white. Three fights in the we're gonna fight. Every test, every trouble, every mess, every rubble, every pen, every paper, every right, every answer, every win, every loss, every circle, every cross, every piece, every wall, every wound, every scar, every chicken, every pork, every spoon, every fork, every color, every hue, every red, white, yellow, blue, every darkness, every light, for the blue and for the white, everyone, every big, every fight, one big fight.
Susunod na ang Baka Naman Pwede sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, 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 radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan.
Pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog, lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Baka naman pwede. pwede.
Baka naman pwede?
Baka naman pwede.
Mga isyung napapanahon ating pag-usapan.
Baka naman pwede.
Gamit ang mga pananaw mula sa iba't ibang kalinangan.
Baka naman pwede.
Mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture, kami inyong samahan. Tayo'y maghuntahan. Dito lang sa
Baka naman pwede.
tuwing Huwebes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Magandang hapon sa lahat. Nakikinig kayo ngayon sa Baka Naman Pwede, isang programa ng Institute of Philippine Culture at ng Radyo Katipunan na naglalayong pagnilayan ang mga napapanahong issue gamit ang lente ng agham panlipunan o social sciences. Nais din nating mapagkwentuhan ang mga bagay na baka naman pwede nating tignan muli, pagkukulan ng pansin at aksyonan. Ako si Dwayne Denzel Hipolito mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture at ako ang inyong tagapagdaloy sa hapong ito. Nakasama natin noong nakaraang episode si Ginoong Carl Lawrence Cervantes ng Department of Psychology mula sa UP Diliman upang suriin ang umuusbong na loneliness crisis sa Pilipinas at ang penomenong umiiral kung saan bumabaling tayo sa AI bilang kapalit ng mga makabuluhang ugnayan o human social relations, gaya ng emotional support. Ibinahagi ni Sir Carl na ang ating kultura bilang mga Pilipino ay relational. Hindi natin mahihiwalay ang isa't isa dahil ang diwa ay parte ng kapwa. Kaya naman, sa pag-usbong ng AI na noon pa mang nagsimula ang information age, ay sumilang ang tensyon partikular na sa bansa na kaugat ang kultura sa pakikipagkapwa. Ngunit, sa pagharap nating mga Pilipino sa ganitong mga balakid at dahil na rin sa danas mula sa pandemya, naging bunga ang pag-usbong ng mga digital spaces kung saan nakakahanap ang mga tao ng alternative social relations. Tinalakay din ang mas malalaking implikasyon ng penomenong ito, gaya na lamang ng expectations sa panahon ngayon na tila'y dapat alam natin ang lahat. Dapat kaya natin mag-function all the time, kahit hindi naman ganito ang kinagisnan natin ng ating human nature. Hindi tayo depektibo kung hindi natin matugunan ang mga inaasahang ito. Pagkus, natural na reaksyon lamang itong mga penomeno. Sa sistemang kanya-kanya mindset na nanghihikayat ng individualistic na mga gawain, nahihiwalay tayo to the point of isolation. Ayon nga kay Sir Carl, hindi mababago ang status quo sa ating pagkakahiwa-hiwalay. Ipinamalas ng kwentuhang ito na hindi naman din depektibo ang loneliness, kundi isang tugon na natural na karanasan at damdamin natin. Ang makisama, makamusta, at makapiling ang iba. Bagamat isiniwalat ang panganib na dulot ng paggamit ng AI, idiniin din na mariin lamang na maging mahabagin o compassionate sa isa't isa. Punot dulo nito ay hindi kailanman mapapantayan ng AI ang magbibigay ng kapwa. Ang loob, ang pagbuo ng relasyon sa isa't isa na siyang may malalim na pakialam sa kapwa nating kaibigan, kapamilya at kapwa-tao. Ayon nga kay Sir Carl, sa kabila nitong loneliness crisis, baka naman pwedeng magpakatao at makipagkapwa-tao. At para sa mga gustong balikan ang mga nakaraang episodes ng Baka Naman Pwede, mangyari lamang na bisitahin ang Facebook page ng Institute of Philippine Culture at ng Radyo Katipunan. Ngayong hapon, makasama natin si Dr. Deano Reyes upang pag-usapan ang kahalagahan ng PrEP o ng pre-exposure prophylaxis sa laban natin kontra HIV/AIDS sa Pilipinas. Simula nang ipakilala ang PrEP sa bansa, marami na ang natulungang makaiwas sa HIV. Ngunit may mga individual pa rin nahihirapang makakuha nito dahil sa potensyal na gastos, diskriminasyon at takot. Kaya naman layunin ng episode na ito na talakayin ang mga hamon sa pag-access ng PrEP at kung paano may hikayat ang kabataan na maging maalam at maagap laban sa HIV/AIDS. Kabilang na dito ang distribution ng PrEP, mga pag-aalinlangan sa paggamit nito, at kung paano makakatulong ang kabataan sa gitna ng tumataas na kaso sa bansa. Sa mga manonood natin sa Facebook, pwede kayo sumali sa aming kwentuhan. Mangyari lamang na i-type ang inyong mga komento at katanungan sa comment section at babasahin namin ang mga ito sa ating Q&A portion mamaya. Ngayon, hayaan niyong ipakilala ko sa inyo ang ating bisita. Si Dr. Dean Patrick Eugene Deano Reyes, MD-MBA, APSV, ay isa sa mga nangunguna sa HIV medicine at sexual health sa Pilipinas. Siya ang Medical Director ng Hara Holistic Gender and Sexual Health Clinic sa Pasig. isang nangungunang LGBTQ plus health center na nagbibigay ng stigma-free HIV prevention, sexual wellness at gender-affirming care. Certified siya ng DOH bilang HIV primary care provider at associate ng Philippine Society of Venereology. May master siya in sexual health mula sa NUH Singapore at may training siya sa andrology at transgender health bilang GAT practitioner na accredited ng WPATH. Bukod sa clinic work, active siya sa media at community engagements para mag-break ng stigma at mag-spread ng tamang kaalaman tungkol sa HIV at LGBTQ plus health. Sa kanyang leadership at malasakit, tinulungan ni Dr. Deano na gawing mas inclusive at empowering ang sexual health care sa bansa. Sa ating mga tagapakinig at manonood, bigyan natin ng masigabong virtual na palakpakan si Dr. Deano. Welcome po sa Baka Naman Pwede, Dr. Deano.
Tagalog.
All right. So it's such a gloomy day today, no? And I hope that you're doing fine. What kind of preparations did you do today?
Is that okay? There's a little echo. Okay, so I think today, really, I just had some patience. We started the day early, mga like 7, worked out, dressed up, went to the clinic, and it's just patient after patient until here. Pwede naman ako mag-English, di ba? Or
Yeah,
mag-Taglish.
definitely.
Okay. Tatas kasi ng Tagalog mo na na timid kita ako.
Not buwan ng wika yet, pero we're still doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you share us na what keeps you occupied these days? Ano po yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo? Baka po pwede nyo kaming kwentuhan.
Yeah, definitely the clinic. Opening my own clinic is 7-day a week job, no? So not just about seeing the patients every day, but really doing my best to grow it. Trying my best to build my team, mga other LGBTQ sensitive doctors who really wanna make a difference in the community. So full-time job, literally full-time job.
Yes. So definitely the right and best choice for this topic. So let's move forward to the questions that we're gonna ask you today. So pwede niyo po bang i-share sa amin yung overview ng current state of HIV/AIDS in the Philippines, and how can we better understand the figures and statistics related to HIV/AIDS given na parang these past few months may nirelease ng DOH like the 500%? Yes?
Yeah. I think for that, it's very important to really find out what does that 500% increase mean, no?
Yeah.
I don't know, in Ateneo, we really taught how to, like the importance of communication, diba?
Yeah.
And like how, like a few simple words can really make a difference,
Yeah.
no? So yung 500%, pag tinapat yan sa social media or to some layman, no? Nakakatakot talaga yan because you don't have a lot of context with it. You'll think the 500% was probably last year lang. Yun yung a lot of people do ask me, Doc, ibig sabihin mo niyan 500% since last year. And it's a lot more nuanced than that, no?
Yes.
So yung ano ba yung current state of HIV in the Philippines? Ano ba yung 500% increase na yon? Una, we want to be very clear na yung 500% rise in HIV was over a 10-year period, no? So let's break it down. In 2008, yung mga earliest nating mga studies in the Philippines, mga 1 person per day lang yung na-diagnose during that time. And then skip forward mga 4 years after, mga 2012, we were at about 9, no? Then by 2023, we were at 54 cases per day na. And that means in the span of 10 years, doon nanggagaling yung 500% increase. There's a lot of factors that come in. It's not just because sobrang daming nagiging positive.
Yeah.
It's also because our capacity for testing is a lot better. Mas madami na tayong natetest ngayon. When I was 22 years old, so that was about 10-ish years ago. Oo. I was super scared to get tested, and it was difficult to get tested even though I was already like a med student, no?
Yeah.
So, uh, in over 10 years, my good news na testing is a lot easier, a lot more accessible.
accessible,
Pero
yes.
it's not just about that, no? It's not just a matter of we're testing more. Yes, more people are getting tested, which is good, but we're still seeing an actual increase in new transmissions amongst people, especially mga young men who have sex with men or MSM
MSMs,
and
yes.
transgender women, no? So another aspect of that 500% increase na concerning is that bumababa yung number of yung age of people getting tested.
Right.
One factor is bumababa naman talaga sila, but also nag-decrease tayo ng age of consent and testing. So now, at 15 years old, you can already get tested without the consent of your parents. Kasi before, you can imagine that was a really big concern. Like, how would you get tested as a young adolescent? Tas magpapaalam ka sa parents mo, no? So those were multiple barriers that got in the way of HIV testing, and over the years we've improved, no? So that's a good thing. Pero we don't want to sit on our laurels too much and
Of
just
course, yes.
be kampante na yun na lang kailangan natin gawin, no?
Yeah.
Tumataas pa rin yung actual transmission cases. So we still got a lot to do, no? In a global context, unfortunately, we are really lagging behind. All our Southeast Asian neighbors are actually doing a pretty good job of controlling their HIV
Thailand is one, yes.
problems. Pero tayo, behind pa tayo,
Yes.
really. And if I was going to say what's the main driver of that, it's really because of the very, very heavy stigma and conservative cultures of Philippines that really prevent people from just getting tested. Okay? I think that's I will stop
good
myself because I tend to ramble. Pero hopefully I got to answer that first question.
Definitely. It allows us to contextualize the information behind the 500%. No, so to address these numbers, what are the programs offered by the government and concerned community-based organizations? Like ano po yung mga intervention provided to prevent HIV? And if tested positive, what are the possible treatments for HIV?
Okay. So naman, no? The Philippine government does have a lot of interventions in place. We have the Philippine National AIDS Council that really spearheads this. We have the National HIV and AIDS Strategic Plan that adapts per year, no? Meron na rin tayong HIV laws. So meron tayo ng HIV and AIDS Policy Act, which is, oh man, I hope I remember this. Hindi ako magaling sa mga I think it was RA 11166, no? Which really promotes like the education about HIV, destigmatization, and also is the one that revolves around access to treatment, no? So these are like movements that have evolved over the decades, no? Dati, people could only really get treated or receive treatment at government facilities, no? So parang kailangan mo pumunta ng San Lazaro or RITM, which makes access to treatment very difficult. Pero ngayon, there was really a really good movement of like decentralizing this. Nagsisitayuan nga yung mga social hygiene clinics and mga government accredited treatment hubs, and then NGOs get to tawag doon, or community-based organizations, I think is the better term, no? They really play a massive role kasi they can file as treatment hubs, and then doon nagagawa yung mga free HIV testing, counseling, and then also the dispensing of the ARV treatment, no? And especially in urban areas, yung PrEP rollout came out kailan ba yon? I think the PrEP rollout came out ng sa Philippines mga 2020 2021 ba siya?
Yeah.
Or hindi, parang a little bit earlier, pasimula pa lang, 2017, I remember Love Yourself came out with this Project PrEP. Yun yung parang it was one of the first innovations that really started the progress. Pero naalala ko, hindi pa siya embraced ng medical community when I was starting my practice in sexual health in 2021. Madami pang galit sa kanya. So really, I would say the PrEP rollout has really been super in effect. Mga lang, since 2022 lang siguro, if I were to guess.
Yeah.
What else? What else did I miss? There was a lot of components on your question. Ano yung other parts?
What
Yeah.
are the possible treatments if tested positive for HIV?
Okay. So, I think I like to talk about this rin with regards to, kasi I watched Rent, mga late last year, no?
Yeah.
So Rent came out in 1993. And as an HIV doctor, when I was watching it, parang the depiction of HIV back then was really like this, practically a death sentence, no? Wala ka nang magagawa. And it was just about prolonging your life, and it wasn't a good life, it wasn't that good of a life back then.
Yeah.
But the science has jumped leaps and bounds over the years, no? So dati, PLHIV had to drink like a cocktail of different ARVs, no? Madami, 5 pills, mga ganon. Ngayon, 1 pill na lang. So people just need to take 1 pill every day. It's super well tolerated. A lot less side effects than previously, no? So HIV nowadays is a super manageable disease, no?
Yes.
It is now no longer a death sentence, and if ever you become positive, madali na yan to link you to care. Yun nga, to link you to a treatment hub where all of these services will be provided for you for free. Especially kung may PhilHealth ka, it will cover a big chunk of what are the other labs and concerns you might have. Pero yung meds, they're free, no? So, siya, very accessible na dapat siya with the design of the entire system.
Yeah. All right. So let's circle back to PrEP po, no? So as it has been mentioned, could you kindly explain what it is and how it functions, and who would benefit most from taking PrEP?
Great. Okay. So, like, how nerdy do you guys want me to speak? No.
As nerdy as you can get. No?
Super nerdy. Okay. Because I like my biochem. I like how it works. Pero syempre, not everybody appreciates that, no?
Yes.
I guess I would want to explain it ngayon in the best way is how I explain it to my patients who don't really like the biochem, no? So when PrEP, HIV, when it gets inside your body, it doesn't really like set its roots in right away, no? So you have opportunities in between to really block it, no?
Yeah.
HIV isn't alive. It doesn't have the capacity to replicate itself. So what does it do? It infiltrates into your cells, particularly your CD4 cells or your immune cells, and then it hijacks the machinery of your cells in order to replicate itself, no?
Yeah.
So where does PrEP work? It works there. It works in the ability of the HIV to replicate itself, and then it kind of slips in between that process and stops it, no? So yeah, that's how HIV is able to effectively protect, how PrEP is effectively able to protect you from HIV.
Yes.
It interrupts the replication process of the virus. So maski makapasok yung HIV virus sa katawan mo, hindi naman siya makaka-replicate. And then since it wasn't able to replicate, ultimately it will just like disintegrate. Ganon, no?
Right. So given that po, how effective is PrEP in preventing HIV, and what are its
So
potential limitations?
The studies are super clear, no? They've mga na rin to. PrEP has been around for a very long time. Yung tawag doon, yung unang I have some mga patients from the US na they were part of that initial group in 2012 nung yung global beginnings of PrEP, yung Truvada pa siya, no, launched in 2012. So they were the first batch and they're doing very well, no. So the science really shows that it is a 99% effective way to prevent HIV, no. So you take your PrEP pill daily like a maintenance medication. After 7 days you have built up that 99% protection, and then you just maintain it, 1 pill a day, and while you're on it, para kang may shield or may barrier from HIV.
Yeah. So it's definitely a responsibility also because you have to take it daily as well.
Yeah.
right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
A lot of my, I guess, little pahapyaw information. So a lot of my patients are worried kung makamiss sila ng ganun, no? What if minsan nangyayari naman, no? We're not robots, no? So as long as you've completed the 7 days and have maintained it, you can actually miss 1 to 2 days of prep and still maintain that protection, no? So pag nakamiss ka ng 1 pill, okay pa. Magka-miss ka ng 2 pill, okay pa. Pero pag third pill na, that's when your protection levels start dipping down, no? So yun yung sinasabi ko. 1 to 2 days, okay ka pa, it's still in your system. But when you miss it for a third day, you gotta restart yung 7 days again.
Yeah. So definitely a responsibility.
Yeah.
So, Doc, could you walk us through po the specific guidelines for taking PrEP? Like, what are the important factors should individuals consider if they are planning to start PrEP? Kasi, of course, they would sometimes baka may side effects or like may clinical concerns. Could you walk us through that?
Okay, yeah, sure. Yung official guidelines ng PrEP was released in January ng 2021. The DOH released a memo on the guidelines of pre-exposure prophylaxis for HIV or PrEP, no? So yung guidelines na to say na yung mga target individuals nga are the ones who are at substantial risk for HIV, which includes nga people who have HIV infected partners who are not virally suppressed, so hindi pa sila undetectable, people who have had multiple sexual partners over the past 6 months, people who have been diagnosed with an STI in the past 6 months, saka people who use prohibited drugs or sex-enhancing drugs, and then people who had to have post-exposure prophylaxis within the past 6 months. So parang yun yung guidelines niya talaga, no? And yung screening niya, what are the things we need to do? Siyempre, we need to get an HIV test na negative.
Negative.
Kasi kung positive na yun, useless na yung PrEP, no? What else? We'll also need to check your kidney. You need to have adequate kidney functions, no? And dapat wala kang we also tend to do liver functions, pero parang there are some conversations about maybe hindi na siya kailangan because PrEP has not been shown to have any significant concerning effects on the liver. So yun. Tapos once initiated, you just really need to follow up every 3 months to repeat test your HIV, and then every 6 months to repeat test yung mga other lab parameters to make sure that you're okay. That's a lot of people ask me like, is it safe and ganon, and then how I answer that is, like all medications, there are some potential side effects, but that's why monitoring comes in, so that if there's any problem, we can see it like a mile away. Hindi tayo bubulagain na may problem na.
Doc, can you enlighten us kung ano po yung mga common like side effects that one might
Sure.
experience? Yeah.
So ito yung mga advice ko usually for my patients, no? When you start taking PrEP, you might feel some nausea, you might get some diarrhea, mga ganun, no? Pero that's just very fast. Mga like 1 to 2 weeks until your body adjusts. And then, usually yun yung mga most common headaches, diarrhea, nausea, no? Pero tiis lang as your body gets used to it, kasi after nun, smooth sailing ka na. Wala ka nang masyadong iisipin. So ako, I've been on daily PrEP for a long time. It's just become part of my routine, no? And then you just take like 1 pill a day talaga and you should be good. In terms of yung studies, what do they say about the safety profile of PrEP, no? So yun nga, no concern for liver function, not really a big deal. Sa kidney function, PrEP is associated with about a grade 1 injury or kidney injury, which sounds scary, pero grade 1 kidney injury is classified as mild, and it just means an increase in your creatinine, no? And what happens is, pag diniscontinue mo yung PrEP, babalik lang yan into normal, no?
Yeah.
There's also some correlation of PrEP use with decrease in bone mineral density. Pero it's not correlated with an increase in fractures. Which means na okay, magiging a little bit less dense yung yung bones mo, pero hindi naman siya to the point that it's gonna cause injury. But definitely that is a point to note because for growing children, for adolescents who are sexually active, and then you might want to get them on PrEP, you watch out for their bone mineral density kasi nga pa sila, nag-grow pa sila.
Yeah.
Pero for a full-fledged adult, not really that big of a concern, no? So those are the main concerns for PrEP. And I think yung key takeaway na gusto ko sabihin sa mga tao is nakalagay naman on data that if you discontinue PrEP, kung mag-stop ka na, babalik naman siya back to normal.
Yeah. Alright. So with that, Doc, could you let us know how one might go sa pag-access ng PrEP? Like, are there
Okay.
any organizations that provide support? Ganon.
Sure. So PrEP, it's a little bit more difficult now kasi a big part of the PrEP rollout, especially sa urban areas, dito lang naman yan sa Metro Manila and surrounding areas and other metropolitan areas, no? A big contributor to the PrEP rollout was really the Global Fund and UNAIDS. Pero yun nga, when Trump kasi pulled out UN foreign support on HIV, syempre na matatamaan yun, no? So, but it's still there-ish, no? Meron pa naman doon. I'm not quite sure how long pa siya magiging for free. Pero you can really go to these NGOs. So like My Hub Cares, SHIP, SAIL, Love Yourself. So ito yung mga very famous one where you can book a consultation and provide for then access PrEP, no? Madami pa actually. There is this organization called Positibong Pasigueño who gives PrEP for free in front of O-Bar whenever pag may mga shows on the weekend. So they'll test you there, they'll give it to you. So medyo yung access, no? Accessible naman ang PrEP. You'll just go there, they'll test you, they'll do the labs, no? And you should be able to access it.
And
for those who don't want to go to NGOs, of course, may mga private options. So, for example, my clinic at Hara, we're not a treatment hub kasi we have no foreign or government aid in regards to our operations. So, everything is out of pocket. But I think to some people who prefer no lines, people who prefer a more private experience, no? Dito sila sa akin, and we do the same process. We test HIV, get their labs, and then dispense their PrEP. May bayad lang nga.
Yes. Besides the health requirements, are there any specific steps like individuals should prepare for kapag mag-access ng PrEP? Because like what we both agree on na it's their responsibility. So of course there would be specific steps na individuals should prepare for kapag planning to access PrEP.
I think naman wala naman like super major. You just really need to understand why you're taking PrEP, and the main driver here is that you are a sexually active, consenting adult, and you wanna keep yourself safe, no? You wanna take means to keep yourself safe. Condoms have always been around, and I still support condom use, and I still encourage it, no? But I guess as a doctor, I am not super draconian with regards to condom use. Like, hindi ko papagalitan yung patient ko kung ayaw nila. Us doctors have been trying to get people to use condoms for like decades. Pero some people, it really depends on the person kasi. And it's not just about personal preference. Minsan people get ED or erectile dysfunction because of condom use, so that gets in the way. Sometimes they don't enjoy the sexual experience kasi lack of sensitivity, no? So I want to be very aware and conscientious about these struggles that people might have because sex is a very basic need, no? And ma-enjoy mo siya. So if condoms aren't for you, that's okay. That's why PrEP is such a godsend especially to the MSM community. Because finally, nabigyan sila ng alternative option to condoms in terms of being able to keep themselves safe.
Yeah, definitely. So, with that, could you share what common barriers are when it comes to PrEP uptake? Like, ano po yung mga masasabi nating misconceptions or like hesitations when it comes that na-observe nyo that may discourage individuals from using PrEP?
Yeah, okay. Very, very ano naman yung main ones is like people always have like myths about it's gonna kill my kidney or it's gonna kill my liver and ganon. And I think sinabi ko nga, no, it is associated with some of those things but not to a significant degree.
Yeah.
So people read a lot of things online kasi na ano yun nga, masama siya sa kidney, masama siya sa ano, masama siya sa all of those things. But you can say the same thing about paracetamol, you can say the same things about glutathione, ganun, no? Pero ano, with anything kasi it kind of gets a little bit of this double standard.
Yeah.
So mas mahirap for people to accept it. Parang andali kasing sabihin ng mga iba like, so yung drop tayo ng mga chismis story, no? So I attended this conference back in 2021 nung pa-roll out pa lang nga yung PrEP, no? And then there was a speaker, an older doctor who talked up front about PrEP, about how it works and ganun, no? And that was the main reason I attended the talk because I wanted to learn about PrEP. Pero yung ending message niya was, but I don't support PrEP because it promotes sexual promiscuity. And I got so shocked about it kasi like how would you even like connect to your patient base kung magsasabi ka ng something like that na parang this is a way to keep you safe pero don't use it kasi magiging mas malandi ka. Parang ganun, no?
Yeah.
It was shocking for me to hear that. And then nung tumitingin ako dun sa mga katabi ko to see if anybody was reacting the same way I was, wala. They were like nodding. But this was 2021, so medyo matagal na. I think people have grown past it.
Yeah.
But it just really put into, for me, the context about, wow, sexual health kind of really sucks in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big driver of why I went into this field because I wanted to make it better, less judgmental, more accessible. No.
Yes. So definitely we have a lot more things to work on, no? In terms of having a more inclusive like sexual health system here in the Philippines. And with that, are there gaps in the current interventions that you believe might prevent people from accessing or continuing PrEP? Like maybe like costs or something like that, and the responsibilities that come with it?
Like I said, PrEP is largely free in the Philippines, no, which is actually a privilege. Other countries don't have free PrEP. Like Japan doesn't have free PrEP, Singapore doesn't have free PrEP, no. So people in those countries kind of have to figure out ways on their own. So tayo, sobrang lucky natin na may free PrEP tayo. Unfortunately, it's yun nga, very focused around metropolitan areas. So yung access to this free PrEP isn't available to like yung mga far-flung barrios, mga ganon, or yung mga let's say, maski hindi nga ganun ka-far-flung, mga tourist hotspots like Siargao or La Union, they don't have easy access to PrEP either. And then, maski malaki yung tourism nila doon. And tourism equals, in many ways, sex, no? Parang, so, you'd want to hit these spots and make PrEP accessible there. Pero, we're not quite there yet. Next naman, yun nga, it did take a blow with the pull-out of UNAIDS. Medyo masakit din talaga yon. And then finally, there's a lot of the hidden or unmentioned costs about PrEP. Such as if you are like an average or like lower social income Filipinos, ano ba yung isipin mo? Yung commute to where you get the PrEP, no? Isipin mo yung time of your work, no? So all of those are like mga hidden costs na get in the way of access to PrEP, no? I know Love Yourself has very good initiatives to that. Parang I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but they got to deliver PrEP to people directly, no? So mga ganun, those are really excellent ways to handle the situation. Internationally, there are also conversations about demedicalizing PrEP. That means just making it accessible in, like, for example, a Mercury or a Watsons, no? Pero those conversations are still being made. Wala pang consensus na it's a good idea. And gets ko naman both sides of the problem. Kasi kunyari HIV positive ka na, tapos hindi mo alam, tapos nagpe-PrEP ka, then it will delay your access to ARVs. Parang kala okay ka, hindi ka pala okay. And then yun nga, PrEP is not a super simple medication to drink. Hindi lang siya parang antibiotics na alam mo how to do it, no? There's a little bit of education and counseling that needs to be done, and mawawala yon if it's just demedicalized.
Correct.
So pros and cons on the issue. Definitely more conversations need to be made.
Definitely, yes. Doc, given na yung PrEP is taken daily, there are posts online that says na parang HIV vaccine and all that. Is that like, yeah, di ba? Ang daming ganun ngayon posting about an HIV vaccine.
Got it.
What can you say about that?
So sobrang cool ng innovations nga of HIV medicine, no? Like I said, we've grown leaps and bounds from where we were previously, and it's just becoming a lot faster, no? So why were these innovations even considered in the first place? Mostly for PLHIV. One of the things that PLHIV struggled the most with is pill burden. Generally, anybody with a chronic disease kind of has to struggle with pill burden, meaning like have to drink a pill every day. So tamad siya or nakakadismaya siya. Minsan it does cause mental health issues because the daily pill is a reminder of the disease, no?
Yes.
So there has to be innovations with regards to being able to make this easier for people, no? So what do we have, no? And it's pretty cool. A few months ago, parang like last year lang, yung pinaka cool news out there is called cabotegravir long-acting, or yung brand name niya was Apritude. And it is an injectable PrEP. And then, it works the same way as the oral medication. Ganun lang naman yung ginagawa niya. It interrupts the viral replication process. Pero slow release siya, or long-acting yung medication. So you get a shot every 2 to 3 months lang. So you don't have to worry about the pill. And when people forget about the pill, they don't get the anxiety and ganun, no?
Yeah.
And then recently, even better, there's a new medication that's FDA approved. Tawag sa kanya is lenacapavir. And then yung job naman niya is that it interrupts yung parang capsule ng virus, no? So parang it wrecks the capsule of the HIV virus, so it will prevent its replication, no? And that's only one shot every 6 months, so 2 shots a year, diba?
Yeah.
So it's for me, like somebody who is sexually active and on PrEP, I would love to just have to take 2 shots instead of
Taking it daily.
having to take a pill every day. Yesterday, I was running late for work and I missed my PrEP pill. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because I think I got caught in a phone call. Buti ako, alam ko na that's fine. Pero like your average Filipino who doesn't have like that kind of knowledge would get super anxious that they missed the PrEP pill, diba?
Right.
So this is good news. They're super interesting. Unfortunately, ngayon mahal pa sila. Hindi pa sila kayang ibigay sa general population. So it is still a luxury.
Doc, tanong lang, yung pag-take po ba ng PrEP, does it have like a specific time on a day? Or like you can take it any time of the day?
Daily PrEP, not really. I talk with my patients a lot about what's the most useful for them, no? So ako, I take it first thing in the morning together with my pre-workout para hindi ko na siya makalimutan, no? Maski nakalimutan ko siya kahapon. Pero it really depends. I ask my patients, may side effects ka ba? Maybe you want to take it at night para hindi ko na parang you'll just sleep through the side effects. Tawag doon, or parang are you in a night shift? Mahirap ba yung ano? So really, you pick a time that's convenient for you and like stick to it like glue. Ganun lang naman yan, no?
So definitely a case-to-case basis as well.
Some people do take it with food. Some people actually prefer to not take it with food. No, so case-to-case basis talaga siya. Pero the timing super super chill lang yan. Where it doesn't become chill is called the on-demand PrEP or the 211 PrEP. So there's another way to use PrEP aside from daily. It's for those people who aren't as sexually active but want protection. There is this 211 approach to PrEP where you take 2 pills of PrEP at least 2 hours before your encounter, and then you and then you take one pill 24 hours after the first two, and another pill 48 hours after the first two, no? So yun, sobrang strict nung time na yun.
I see.
You can only be late by 1 hour max. After nun, wala na kaming data that it's still as effective as daily prep, no? So when my patients do prefer the 2-1-1 prep, I tell them, you really gotta be super, super like
Strict with
on
the
time.
time.
You gotta remember when it is, kasi pag malate ka na mga like 3 or 4 hours, hindi ko na masasabi sa'yo na it's as effective, no? Ako personally, as a guy with ADHD, I will mess that up all the time. So daily ako,
Yeah.
even though like there are times where I'm not that sexually active, sometimes I have like weeks on end na parang wala naman, I'm still on daily prep just in case, no?
Yeah. All right. No. So, Doc, as young individuals, for someone like you, young, how can we become more proactive in advocating for HIV prevention? Like, what practical steps can we take to help address the HIV/AIDS situation in the country? Like, even in our own little steps.
Own little steps, and this is usually what I also say sa mga lectures, na you don't have to be an expert, you don't have to be a doctor, no? You need to make a little bit of an effort to like really understand what HIV is. Kasi stigma comes from lack of information, lack of knowledge, no? A lot of the fear comes from hindi ka sure, no? Or what happened. So it's paano ka maging sure when you arm yourself with information.
Yeah.
Next naman, call out HIV stigma or AIDS stigma when you hear it in jokes, correct information or misinformation, mga ganon, fake news. You really have to call it out. For example, madami pa rin akong mga abject professionals like lawyers, engineers, ganon, who still say or who still come to me thinking that you can transmit HIV through sharing of utensils or kissing or gano'n, no? So I have to educate them and tell them na no, that's not real. Mali yung information na yon. And if you hear other people saying it, you gotta correct them. Ganon. Really also love your PLHIV brothers and sisters. Don't be afraid to hug them. Hugging will not give you HIV, no? And understand also the power of you equals you. So right now, ano ba yung naabot namin in terms of HIV management? We can't take HIV out of your body yet, but we can put it to sleep, no? We can put it to sleep to the point that it will not cause you harm. That state is called undetectable. And why do we call it undetectable? It's because sobrang baba na lang ng virus sa katawan mo na on our tests hindi na siya lumalabas, hindi na namin siya na-detect. And undetectable means untransmittable, meaning you can't get anybody else sick, you can't infect anybody with HIV anymore if you're undetectable, and you also won't progress into advanced HIV or AIDS. So yun yung mga very, very important people to like really internalize and to really like understand about HIV. Because PLHIV are people. They're just people with a disease, no? It shouldn't be treated any differently from like hypertension or diabetes.
Right. Yeah, definitely. With that, Doc, no, that's a really empowering statement to make. And then with that, with Pride Month having concluded recently, what message would you like to share with young queer individuals about caring for their health and well-being?
Yeah. So Pride Month is great, but we don't want to like just isolate all of this advocacy and pride in one month, no? Pride is an everyday thing, no?
Yes, definitely.
Pride is always choosing yourself, and that means keeping yourself safe, keeping yourself empowered, keeping yourself happy, and so for anybody there who identifies as LGBTQ+, whether you're out and proud or still in the closet, know that people out there will love you, and there are spaces like my clinic where you will be welcomed with open arms. And I think that's about it.
All right, so that talk definitely tickled some curiosity to our audiences. And now we'll be reading some questions.
The question style, let's go.
Yeah. So the first question would be, what do you think the media's role is in shaping the public's perception of HIV/AIDS given the pre-existing stigma and discrimination?
Syempre naman, media is so powerful, no? So together with other advocates, I remember this one conversation we had na parang there's a lot of HIV stories out there, or HIV like to be consumed, no? But I think we're at the point na baka graduate na tayo dun sa lahat ng mga people living with HIV on media is namamatay kasi wala na talaga tayo dun, no? Show show people taking their ARVs casually. Parang sila, restaurant sila, marihan sila, and then yung isang PL-HIV will just randomly like, I'll just need to take my meds. Ganun lang siya. Stuff like that will really go a long way to destigmatizing HIV. Ito, nung 500% increase ng HIV news came out, when you would look at the comments on all of those things and the backlash, talagang tinututok yung blame on the LGBTQ community, on the gay community, saying na it's our fault that HIV numbers are so high. And I fought so many people online back then because I was saying that no, hookup culture isn't the problem. Grindr isn't the problem. Because you look at other countries like Thailand who have like a way more open, sexually open culture than we do, but they're beating their HIV numbers, no? So the problem really stems from lack of education, from the stigma, no? So people really need to like stand their ground and fight for their rights to exist, and fight for their rights to not get discriminated.
All right. So another question would be, how can the Comprehensive Sexual Education Bill, or CSE, aid in HIV prevention in the Philippines?
Oh gosh. Yan, isa pa. Okay. So syempre, as a sexual health doctor, you can just guess how super supportive I am on the Comprehensive Sexual Health Education Bill. And we really just gotta look at the data. Internationally, countries that have implemented comprehensive sexual health education, it's been shown that it's armed their kids with a lot of knowledge so that they start having sex at a later date, at older ages. They are able to distinguish more properly when they're being groomed or when they're being abused. And it actually lowers the HIV number. So it's out there plain in black and white na comprehensive sexual health education lowers STI and HIV numbers. And on the other hand, abstinence-only education is not that effective, no? So really, this is gonna save so many young people when we have a good comprehensive sexual health education bill. Kasi kailangan naman lang natin malaman, Filipinos are so sexually averse. Like, who are you gonna talk to about sex? Your parents? Hindi naman eh. Your teachers? Hindi rin naman kasi wala nga. So, anong natitira? It's your friends who are pretty stupid and also don't know much because they're the same age as you, or the internet, which is not 100% reliable, diba? So, comprehensive sexual education will really save a lot of lives. The data is there. We just have to implement it.
Yes. Another question is, Doc, knowing that U.S. foreign aid has been stopped with the Philippines, which has been helpful to the HIV epidemic, how do we proceed from here? And as healthcare workers and as ordinary Filipinos?
Okay. I really got to when the news came out, I had to ask my doctor friends who are high up in the Global Fund and in the national programs. I was like, hey doc, so many patients of mine are asking about this. Mawawala na ba tayo ng PrEP? Mawawala na ba tayo ng ARVs? Hindi na ba siya magiging free? And their answer is, there are government systems in place. It's about budget reallocation and really adjusting lang, no? Pero syempre, di naman nila papabayaan yung mga PL-HIV in our country, no? You're not gonna suddenly have tawag doon, no more medications. It's gonna be a challenge. I am not in the public health space or the public policy space deeply enough to be able to communicate to it. Pero ang masasabi ko lang is these people aren't gonna these people really do care about the community and they will not just leave you hanging. So tiwala lang, they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. All right. So another question would be, What are the gaps in the dissemination of PrEP in the country? And what would your recommendations be to absolve this? And how do we make sure it reaches provincial areas and tourist spots, as talked about previously? Yeah, because it's definitely an interesting
Got it.
perspective to look at.
So yung prep provision really, there was a goal eh. I think it was like 100,000 Filipinos or like 200,000 Filipinos on prep. I think that was the goal, pero hindi pa siya na-crack eh. And there's really still a lot of stigma, a lot of fear with regards to prep. So most of the people who use prep are already the same circles na talk about it na. Alam na nila. That's why they're encouraged to use it, no? So it's really about bridging the gap to the other people. And I think bold, confident, and clear government like stances about PrEP use will be very useful. Kasi kung sinabi na yan ng government, mas magiging okay na yung mga tao. Susunod na lahat ng mga government hospitals kasi protocol na siya. So it's gonna be really helpful in destigmatizing everything. Yun, yung mga really address those fears like will it affect my kidney, ganon, long-term effects, mga ganon, and just promulgate the news na it's safe. It's a very safe and effective way to protect yourself, no? How to bring it to other provinces, medyo mahirap pa. Kung hindi pa nga natin makrack yung yung urbanized areas. Kung hindi siya effective in urbanized areas, hindi pa yan magdi-disseminate to provinces, no? But let's say theoretically, I'm part of the policy making groups. I would target really tourist hotspot areas, no? Kasi that's where a lot of sex happens and a lot of flow of bodies happen and ganon, mga foreigners or like vacationers in and out. So you need to be able to give the people there, especially kung may mga sex workers or mga access to PrEP, PEP, and all the other things to prevent HIV.
Okay, Doc. Last follow-up question, I believe. Given that more adolescents are now using PrEP thanks to the efforts towards HIV prevention, and knowing that its side effects may be a bit more threatening probably for their age, such as, yun nga po, like previously mentioned, the bone density, what can we do and how can their parents be supportive towards them?
Really, the secret to that with any medication that has potential risks is monitoring, no? You just gotta check pretty often para if there's a problem, you'll see it a mile away and then you can respond accordingly, whether that means discontinuing PrEP or giving like adjunct treatments like something to strengthen their bones or ganon, calcium, ganon. Those are really ways that you can adjust, no? But also like looking at the data, understanding whether something really is like super big of a risk or not, no? Experts study this naman, no? So you gotta put some faith and trust in the experts and follow guidelines.
Yes. All right. So, last pahabol question, because this is
Go lang.
interesting. If you could give a message to a young teen who is hesitating or thinking whether or not should they get tested, what would you say?
I would say get tested, no? Kind of like rip the Band-Aid out. And I'll say this, I think the best way I can answer this is, I was 22 years old and I was a SA victim and I had an HIV scare and I was so scared talaga. 3 months, I was going crazy, thinking I was already HIV positive. So I get you. I get why you're so scared. But really, once you get tested, pag negative, it's such a breath of relief. Tapos na. You can let everything go, no?
Yeah.
Pero pag positive ka, at least you get linked to care and then we can, madali na siya. Madali na siya i-address ngayon. So at least you get linked to care while it's early before it becomes into a bigger problem. So, ang advice ko talaga is, tapang lang ng onte. Maybe find somebody trusted to go with you if you want. Pero like these people are really there to help you. So, just go get tested. Or may mga self-tests din out there na available. Those are options if you don't want to go to facilities.
All right. So Doc, no, maraming salamat sa pag-share at
Super welcome.
maraming salamat sa pagbisita para sa isang napakayamang talakayan sa hapong ito. Pero bago tayo magtapos, humingi muna tayo ng kaunting pabaon mula kay Dr. Dino. Simulan natin ang ating sagot sa Baka Naman Pwede. So basically, it's Baka Naman Pwede tapos a course of action after.
Sige.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Okay. Baka naman pwedeng i-implement na natin yung comprehensive sexual health education.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a need in these times, yes. At dito na nagtatapos ang Baka Naman Pwede. Maraming salamat muli kay Dr. Dino para sa pagpapaunlak sa aming imbitasyon. Baka naman pwede nyo ring ilike ang Institute of Philippine Culture sa Facebook para sa iba pa naming announcements at events. Pwede nyo ring supportahan ang Hara Clinic, yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah. Hanggang sa susunod, ako si Dwayne Hipolito mula sa IPC. Patuloy tayong mag-ingat at laging tandaan, kung may gustong maunawaan, baka naman pwede nating pag-usapan.
Baka naman
Thank
pwede.
you so
Baka
much,
naman
Doc.
pwede.
Baka naman pwede.
Mga isyung napapanahon, ating pag-usapan.
Baka naman pwede.
Gamit ang mga pananaw mula sa iba't ibang kalinangan.
Baka naman pwede.
Mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture, kami inyong samahan, tayo'y maghuntahan. Dito lang sa
Baka naman pwede.
tuwing Huwebes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.